1953, and the revolution was in
89.
in 89 in December, early 90s, and still the most of the properties they haven't returned yet to the people, because you have to make papers and prove it's your land. But after the communism, a few years later, the people received their properties. But when I was, a child with the sheep, still the land belongs to the state, so I could go just anywhere, and pasturing the sheep.
Did you ever have to correct the sheep?
Oh yeah.
Like what? How would you correct a sheep?
Well, I used to. Well, most of the time they just follow me, the sheep. But if they see, I knew that, like for example, to go to a pasture is a good food for them. We had to pass through a small river, a creek, and it was like a deep,
Bank.
yeah, bank, and there was not too much grass, just dirt. But on the other side, I mean, to the sides of that road, there were some pastures, some food, but it was not properly and very good. But I knew that over the creek it was a very good pasture and nice land. And some sheep, they were selfish, I mean greedy, and they wanted to go on that side where it wasn't very very good, and I have to run, and sometimes I have to run after them and taking the breast in the hands and pass them the creek, you know. But and then after they pass the creek and the bad territory, oh, they were very happy and eating and making, like sheep, joyful noise. Yeah, it was very, and I was happy when the sheep is happy. So I believe a true shepherd, he's happy when his sheep is happy, and the sheep is happy when she has food, a good pasture, when she feel that she's loved and protected. Yeah.
What about how did you have names for these sheep?
Well, I usually just for the lambs. Well, I like every sheep, and there was some of them with a strong personality, and I had names for them, and one of the sheep which I love it very much, and her mother died when she was very very young, and I give it to no milk to eat, and when I come to school, no, she knew that when it was the time to go to school, and she come to me until to the gate, and then she returned to the to the house. Well, that sheep was free. No, it was like a baby for us. Um,
Pet.
and when I came from school, she knew when I come, and she was waiting to the gate.
Ah,
And she came with me when I come to the school. And usually I go just to eat, and she followed me in the house. And I remember I fed her. I give her bread and milk and corn. She was very very happy. And that she was Georgetta. I call her Georgetta. She was a special sheep.
so the adult sheep never got away from the fold, just the lambs?
Yeah, sometimes the others too. When they were greedy, on the bad territory, to go to the good pasture, we have to go on the bad territory. Sometimes they were greedy and trying to go to have
Grass is
some
greener
grass.
on the other side.
Yeah, on the other side, but
So did you have sheepdogs that helped you?
no, I haven't. Yeah, they were very expensive, the dog sheep, and I had just a few, 20 sheep is not, it's not much.
So what did you do with, if you had a lamb that got out of the fold, what did you do with the sheep when you went to look for the lamb?
Excuse me?
When you had a lamb
Yes.
that would get out of the fold,
Yeah.
what would you do with the sheep when you went to look for the lamb?
Well, the sheep, they, I don't know, I believe they kind of feel that I was gonna come back, you know? And they have that sensitive, that feeling, the little lamb, it's not good what he's doing. And her mother, when the lambs go too farther, I mean, the mother, all the time she calling the baby. When they have the baby, they are very careful with the lambs, and very often, they make noise like a calling, and the baby make as he turn as well noise. But when the mother, and she's sitting, but she turns the head only when she hears the scream of the baby too farther. Yeah, she turns the head and trying to looking for him.
So if you're going to look for the lamb, you're hearing the lamb cry.
Yeah. Yeah, very often. Yeah, they play, but uh, they make some noise.
Do they always cry and make noise when they're alone?
Yeah, especially when they don't see the mother, they really scream. And the mother also, she screams when she doesn't see the baby.
But the mother doesn't know where the lamb is.
Well, she tried to follow the sound, but if she doesn't see the baby, she's very nervous and running in the side and the other side, and she's very nervous. Yeah, and she wants the baby.
So how do you bring the lamb back to the fold?
Well, none of the lambs was too very far away from the sheep. I mean, to lost them. Only they just playing and running. Maybe they wants to see what is the next after the next tree, the next hill. But I was running for him and bring him back, and yeah, I haven't major problems.
I see pictures of the shepherd carrying the lamb back to the fold, or the lamb is draped over his shoulders. Do you ever do that?
Yes, sometimes when we walk too much, I mean to a long distance, when we return home, some of them they were tired, or also could happen that some sheep to hurt the legs, and then we had to go slower, and if it was very difficult for the sheep to walk, I took it in the hands and take it back home. Yeah.
So what does it mean to you that I lay down my life for my sheep? What does that mean?
That means the shepherd loved so much the sheep, and the sheep, it was in such a big mess, such a big problem, that only the life of the shepherd could save the sheep, the life of the sheep.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the shepherd was willing to give his life in exchange the sheep as the lamb and live.
So what's the difference between you as a shepherd and a hired shepherd, or as a hireling? What's the difference?
The difference is that the sheep was mine, and I had like a relation, with the sheep, and I wanted that, all the sheep to be alive, because also I had some benefits about the sheep. The hair, we were cutting,
Well,
the wool, the milk, the cheese, Yeah, so every sheep was precious for me. Exchange. So if something happened to the sheep, that hurt actually I mean my business or and also, it was that connection, and because it was mine. But the paid shepherd, he don't care too much the sheep. He cares about the money. For him, is just a job. No, the sheep, they are not him. So if it's coming a wolf or a bear, or a big danger, or if he get lost, a sheep, no, that is not big problem, because the sheep is not precious for him. Yeah.
Did you ever have to kill one of the sheep?
No, I haven't to kill. Well, I was too young, and I never killed sheep or lambs. But during the Easter time, in Romania, it's a tradition to have a lamb feast at the table. Yeah, so one of my painful memories from the childhood was when the people, came, maybe friends of dad or neighbors or people who just want a lamb, a good lamb. They came on the flock and they picking a lamb, and that was one of the painful memories. But no, we had to. I mean, my dad, he needs money, and all the lamb were precious for me. But sometimes I had some of them very dear to me. And when the man came to choose the lamb, I was praying, "Oh God, make to not pick that or that one." Yeah,
So when it came time, you said you had to put a lamb on the table.
yeah.
What? Who killed the lamb?
Dad, he killed the lambs. Well, sometimes if they were from the cities or they just want the meat, they told my dad to kill them and just give them the meat. And other times, they just took the lamb alive and take him to their home and sacrifice.
Was it making an incision on the throat to drain the blood?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Did they make a cut on the
yes,
throat to drain the
yes,
blood?
Yes.
It's the only way you can do it to get the meat right.
Yeah.
Hang 'em up.
And so was there any did the sheep put up any kind of a resistance or a fight?
Oh yes, yeah. They feel. No, they just follow the lamb. And cry very very loud. And the lamb was crying very very loud. And even after the lamb was taken, now we closed the mother and the other sheep, but she was to the gate and screaming, crying, and even several days after, many days after the lamb was sacrificed, the mother still cried and screamed after him.
What was the reaction to the little lamb?
Oh, it was very, very scary, very nervous. If
Submissive?
what?
Did the little lamb submit?
Oh yeah, so and usually the lamb not scream too much, just have a very very sad eyes and deep silence. Yeah.
I did it one time. Never. I was 16 years old. And I said I'll never do it again. Can't have that.
So they didn't kill the lamb first and then cut, or they cut the lamb while it was alive?
No, they got
No.
when he was alive.
You cut their throat while they're dry and let them bleed out.
Yeah.
What happened to the flock when you were no longer a shepherd?
My
Sold the
dad, yeah, he sold the sheep.
What was that?
Sold the sheep.
Sold the
Well,
sheep?
at the beginning, we gave them somewhere to the countryside. The parents from my mom's side, they were living in in a countryside about an hour and a half, an hour and something from the city. And over there, there was a guy from the village, a friend of mom, our family, who had a big flock, you know, really business with sheep. So at the beginning, we just gave the flock over there, and each year they gave us wool and cheese.
So
Yeah, but then I don't know what happened with the sheep.
it's like a pastor of a church,
Yeah,
and for whatever reason, the pastor may leave that church by way of death or resignation.
yeah.
Um, who 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 cared for the sheep to go into another fold or under another shepherd?
In the
If I were a pastor of a church and
Yeah.
I left the church,
yeah.
we would seek another pastor,
Oh yeah,
but we would seek one that had the same care for the church that that you would, having been there before. Who?
yeah, yeah. Well, so as I said at the beginning, for 9 years, I'm pastoring the church in Bacău, and last autumn I left to Bistrita, my city, where is a camp now. But when I left, I assured that the church were gonna have very good man, a godly man, and
How did you make
four,
that?
4 or 5 years ago, I met a guy. His name is Costel, and he will gonna be ordained tomorrow morning, like a deacon in the church from where I left. And so for 4 or 5 years, we 4 or 5 years ago we met, and but about 2 years ago he moved like a member. He came like a member in the church in Bacău, and he likes to work, for God, and he helped me in the ministry. Sometimes Sunday I had to go, visit for a revival or for other reasons. So when I used to go and not be in the Sundays, yeah, he replaced me and take care of the church in that Sunday. And also he came with me in the prison ministry, for 8 years. I work in Bacău in the prison with Rock of Ages. Yeah, and he came with me. Yeah, so he was like.
How would you make that transition with a flock of sheep to another shepherd? What was the transition like between your flock?
Yeah.
You're no longer the shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to do something with these sheep, and
Yeah.
that is to put them in another fold, another flock. How'd that work? How did they get used to another shepherd? I guess that's what I'm trying to ask you.
Oh, well, they were very sad when I left. I was very sad too, and we cried. But no, my heart is still with the church, and I'm visiting them. Even last month I visited them 2 months ago. So since I left, almost each month I visited them. And
You're talking about the church.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the sheep.
Oh, the sheep.
How did the sheep respond when they went into another fold after you were no longer the shepherd?
With the sheep. Well, I don't know, because my dad was very scared to tell me to not be upset. So one day when I came from school, I saw that I don't have any more the sheep, and it was one of my saddest days. I was very sad for the sheep, but I put many questions. Ask my dad, and he took me to see the sheep. And that man,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, and
You gotta go? No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
yeah,
So, you made sure that your flock was gonna go into a loving
mm-hmm,
shepherd.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. So, all they fed on was the grass of the field.
Yes, on the pasturing, yeah, it was only the grass. But back home in the morning and in the evening, we put them hay uh, to have all night to eat, or sometimes grass, and also water and corn wheat and other nutritions. But it was all natural. I mean, corn, wheat, and some more like wheat and corn. Yeah.
How did you take care of them when they got sick?
Well, when they broke the leg, no, I used to have with me bandage, bandage, and I no from the trees. I
Like a
took
splint.
branches. No, I put,
Splint.
yeah, put two branches uh, and then the bandage. Very very tight. And when they have others kind of sick, call the veterinarian, the medic.
While you were a shepherd, was there any sheep that had babies in the field? Born?
Born in the field? No, because usually they give birth during the winter. In the winter time, it's still so they are still in the homes, in the barns. Yeah, when they born.
So it's 24/7 care around the clock.
Yeah.
And you still had school to take care of.
Hmm.
You had to go to sleep somewhere.
Yeah, well, I was back home, at home. So in the yard, in at home we had the barn to the sheep too. I mean, we have our house, and next to our house, few meters further, it was the barn for the sheep.
Amazing story.
How far did you travel each day with the sheep and back?
Well, from home to the pasture, it was about 30 minutes. Yeah.
How did you care for them? Did you have to maintain them? How? Did you have to brush them or?
Oh yeah, we each I believe 3 times per summer. So when we start to take them from the barn to the pasturing, uh, we had a metal.
Like a rake or a comb?
Yeah, yeah, where you take a bath.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pits.
pit. Yeah, a metal and big one.
Pit.
And there are very special substance to
Mhm.
kill the fleas and to kill something very very with
Mites.
8
Mites.
with 8 legs which suck the blood.
Tick.
like a tick.
Ticks.
Ticks.
And also those are very dangerous for people to, not all of them,
Mhm.
but there are a few types, few species of them
You
which
get Lyme
can
disease.
can give you a disease,
Lyme
that-
disease.
blind, and also you can move
Paralyzed.
the hands,
Yeah, that's Lyme disease.
the legs. And actually, 8 years ago, a sister from the church from Bistrita, she was bit by a thing like that, and her brain was stuck. No, she couldn't speak, she couldn't move, and over 5 years she was just laying on the couch. Well, she recognized, the friends and the family, but she couldn't. She couldn't speak.
Paralyze you?
Yeah, paralyzed. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So for that, we put there are some special substance in the water, which kill and prevent. So
Sheep dip.
yeah. Well, they don't like the sheep. They don't like to
No.
be in the bath, and they were crazy when we were
Yeah.
inside. But there was for own good, and mine too.
So, the Lord is my shepherd,
Yes.
I shall not want.
Yeah.
He leadeth me beside the still waters.
Mhm.
He restoreth my soul.
Yeah.
What does that mean to the sheep? He restoreth my soul. Are they,
Mm. Well, they are very happy, when they see a good pasturing and fresh water. Came new, like a new spirit, for them, a new power. Yeah, and they are strength by the grass and by the fresh spring.
church people have a tendency to dart off here and dart off there, and they're looking for something else that will satisfy them except just church life and that sort of thing, and what they get into a very carnal lifestyle, and they get backslidden,
Yeah.
and they have a tendency to drop out. That never happens to sheep under the proper shepherd care. He said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, meaning that sheep has no desire for anything else except to follow that shepherd.
Yeah, that's right.
The master.
What?
The master follows the master.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have a staff, a rod, a stick that you would?
Yeah, stick.
And how did you use that?
Well, it was useful for me because sometimes I get tired or I had to climb, there were hills and help me. And also when the dogs, wild dogs, came, I use it to protect the sheep.
Hmm.
Or sometimes the grass, was too high, and there is that dry grass high. I use it to make room.
Did your staff have the hook on it?
No.
That's where you're supposed to drag them back in.
Yes, but I was looking for one. I remember I saw one Sunday school when we were taught about Moses, and he was with that. And I was looking for one of them, but I couldn't find it.
So
I used to have a knife pocket and find very nice stick, and if it was made by a peanut tree, a Romanian peanut tree, which
Pecan.
is what?
Pecan.
Yeah, it was very very straight. No, that was the best. And if it was green, I could be able to make models. Modeling the stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was one of the enjoying the time. Yeah, sheep was pasturing and I was modeling.
Whittling, we call it. Whittling.
Yeah.
Whittling.
Model, I know anything.
Yeah.
What do
Did
you-
your other siblings ever want to go with you?
My brother, sometimes he came with me, but he was with 2 years younger. Yeah, and my parents, especially my mom, she was very afraid to let him come with me.
What do you think about my idea
Yeah,
that no one should ever be a pastor until he has served an internship as a shepherd in the field for 3 years?
for 3 years. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, well,
Too late for
Well, you know,
you.
there's,
Well, I've done that. I'm not like him, but
you're saying a whole
Work
lot.
for the
I mean,
neighbors who
it
had
reflects the shepherd, a pasture.
yeah.
And we have so many pastors today that are just hirelings.
Oh, no.
We have pastors today that are moving every 2 and 3 years. And they're just there to get recognition for another church, preferably a bigger church. And they really don't love the
we have
flock.
44,000 pastors just in the.
They really don't love
It'd
the
take
sheep.
a lot of sheep.
They really
to-
don't love the
for 'em to
sheep
keep up with that deal.
in as what you're telling us between a shepherd and sheep.
Yeah, well, I thank you very much, to God for this experience. And when I came a pastor to
Yeah.
Bacau, the first 2 years, I didn't had, a certain salary, but my apartment was next to a very sweet lady from the church, Doina Pushkalo, and she gave me the key from her apartment, and I could go in my apartment. I wasn't able to take a bath, or I didn't have the
Shower.
and the laundry machine.
Mm.
So my laundry, my bath, I used to take to Sister Doina and eating over there, and
And she
Okay,
was also a banker.
yeah, so I didn't have certain salary for almost 2 years, but no, the bread and everything was cared, and they paid for the apartment. Yeah, and it was a great.
God supplied your needs.
Yeah,
You don't have to answer this question.
yeah.
Did you love your sheep so much that you would die for them?
Oh yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
I don't know too many pastors would do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know too many pastors would do that.
Our pastor, Pastor around Fletcher.
Yeah. He's. Yeah, he's a bad
I feel like you would agonize over anybody in your church. If they were in pain or if they needed help, you would feel that compassion for them.
Well, sometimes we had a family who had trials, and I remember during a few nights, several nights, after midnight and even 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., they call me and ask me for help. So I used to go and write. They were living in the village near Bacau, not too far. I used to go and talk with them.
Amazing story, Ruben. Love you for that story.
Well, I think relative. It's all God.
You're an amazing person. You're special to me.
To
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah. But I bet Barbara should be a very good pastor now. All the sheep, we're gonna just feel the love and the kisses.
Better than you?
What?
Better
I don't care
better
if you like
pastor
this
than
or
you?
not.
Well, with the kisses, I think. Thank you. Well, if she could kiss the dog, I never kiss a dog. She kissed my dog.
That's what